the week that was, because it's more about the day that is. So today I have, if you haven't been following my YouTube channel, go to my YouTube channel and there's a playlist there that you'll see on the homepage of my YouTube channel. So in there you can read that someone is trying to do a defamation case against me and my fight to expose them as a scammer for $3.8 million. So they lodged a case in the New Zealand High Court, and now I have to stand up to I have to reply to the case. And today I've been trying to, after working with my lawyers, obviously just to get the documents filed in the courts, because we've got to do it by tomorrow. So the problem is I've got a 217-page document that I had to get signed by the courts, and then send a copy off to my lawyers for them, and then go back to the courts with a bound document. Quite tricky to do. Not the easiest thing for a crypto Ponzi scheme Avenger to figure out how to do. But anyway, we're now waiting for the warehouse stationery to do it again, because I thought it would be a good idea to do double-sided printing to save the planet, because that's what crypto Avengers do. But then the lady said to me, Danny, the judge doesn't like it. He doesn't like double-sided printing, so I've had to start over. So I'm just waiting for that document to be all bound together, and then we're in. We've lodged something in the New Zealand courts in our defence, and doing what we have to do. I don't really understand it all, to be honest, because I just bust Ponzi schemes. But if you haven't been following my YouTube channel, I haven't been able to publish videos like I really want to, but I thought I'd make today interesting. So what I've done is I've been recording each stage of the journey, and hopefully by the end of the day I'll put together a video of all the things I've been doing. But I can't talk about the case, but do you think, have I reconnected? It told me it's reconnecting. Did you get all of that? Anyway, so the guy that's going after me has something to do with dinosaurs, and he believes dinosaurs are real. He even managed to raise 29,000 US dollars from investors to go hunt for living dinosaurs in the Congo. It's a hoot of a story, one unbelievable story that I couldn't let lie. So I've done about 15 videos, and now they're claiming that I've defamed the guy, or he's claiming I've defamed him, and he was trying to scare me off. But anyway, it's been a hell of a journey. My videos have been a bit, how do I say, I haven't done them because I can't really do much videos while I've got this court case pending, which is a shame. So he's kind of winning at the moment, because obviously I can't produce videos. But not to be dismayed, I have got quite a lot of content that I can create some really interesting stories. So when you get sued by someone, or somebody attempts to sue you for $3.8 million, you kind of really have to question why I do what I do. And that is a story which I've told many times on my videos. And you know, I really despise people that have this burning desire to get rich while stealing and deceiving people from their hard-earned money. And I will do whatever it takes. I have to. We got a document sent to us by a random lady who claims to be a lawyer, trying to tell legal aid that I have lied about my income. She also claimed that I had an association with a white supremacist guy in America. They even produced fake articles on the internet about my association with such a guy. And they said to the New Zealand government, if they don't stop my legal aid, they will go after the New Zealand government for letting me continue using legal aid. It was just ridiculous, the things. So they claimed that I was a terrorist, not a tourist, a terrorist threat to Christchurch, New Zealand. And then they outlined in the document that we've always had a terrible thing happen in my hometown, and they will be liable because they didn't stop me. And it's just unbelievable the lengths that these people go to. And there was 40 other claims in this document, and from a lady who seems not to be a lawyer, who we don't even know, we don't know, I'm not going to say what we think, we don't need to, but it's just amazing. I mean, so what I'm getting at is, when you do things right and you don't make up stories, like I'm an investigative journalist style, I've got no degree, I've got no qualifications, I'm actually a house painter and decorator, and I see things that aren't right, and I'm dyslexic, so I have problems comprehending what I read and understanding it. So for example, I have never read a book in my life. Now people think, oh yeah, but I haven't. I've read parts of the Bible, but I've never sat down and read a book. Now what I mean by that is, if I did read a book, I'd just be reading the words, and all the meanings and the things I read just don't sink in, and I don't absorb them. So now with technology, I would select the words on a book and listen to them, and then I comprehend them. So I discovered audiobooks, I don't know, 5-6 years ago, and the first audiobook I listened to was Anthony Kiedis, and it was his autobiography. He's the guy from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. That was the first time I'd actually read a book or listened to a book and thought, oh my God, I can now comprehend what it means when someone says to me, they went to a movie and they come out of the movie and they go, the book was better. I can never understand how a book can be better than watching a movie, because I'm more of a person that pictures stuff and comprehends stuff that way. So anyway, long story short, I'm actually certainly learning a lot about busting Ponzi schemes. I'm really proud of what I'm doing with my limited skills of comprehension and also the written word. I literally have a reading and writing level of a 9.3-year-old. I got tested when I was 23 years of age, and I said, what can I do about this? And they said, well, you could hire a reading teacher. So I went off and hired a reading teacher for a year. 2 times a week I used to go and I'd learn how to sound out phonetics, and I'd learn more about the English language. And the things I can remember is that you can have a key can unlock a door, and a key can also be something you park your super yacht next to. And the English language is quite confusing. So after 12 months of learning phonetics and learning how to read and write again as an adult, I looked at the notes of my book, and honestly I looked like I was a 5-year-old. So it's a real massive barrier that I feel I've overcome with the aid of technology. And I've got some friggin' awesome people backing me up and helping me with my quest to name and shame anyone that is running a Ponzi scheme or a scam. I just seriously think that these people need to be stopped. I mean, I've had phone calls from people telling me they've invested £190,000 with some scammer because he said I would get, and then they've lost their inheritance money. It's just saddening. I had people ring up. I often talk about a guy that rang me up one day telling me that he had invested $5 million in Hyperverse and lost the lot. And I said, where did you get the money from? It's from his family. They're now suing him because of, they feel that he's misleaded them. And then I had another guy ring me up one day who he introduced 180 people into Hyperverse, and he said he made $200,000 out of doing so. And then he was on a quest to expose the people at the top of Hyperverse because he felt guilty. Now that same guy said that his team was now 6,000 people, and he said that all the money's been frozen. He was providing me the videos that were in the leadership meetings, and he was using the church recording technology to record these Zoom meetings, and then he would send me the link. The link that he was sending me was from the pastor of the church, who was providing the church members, obviously, these videos so they could watch them when they couldn't get onto these Zoom meetings. And so obviously they go after these communities. I mean, in New Zealand we have the Pacifica community. In America they have the Black African community. And for some reason, when you look at all these people learning this stuff in these Zoom meetings, how to recruit people, they're all 50 plus, and they're from these communities, and they have strong religious beliefs, you know, and that's why I stick my neck out so much, because I was brought up a Jehovah's Witness, and we used to get preached to from the stage by all these elders and ministerial servant and circuit overseers, and when I was 23, I got disfellowshipped or kicked out of the organisation, because you're not allowed to have sex before marriage, and I did, and I went back to the elders in the congregation, and they wanted to know all about my personal experience to see whether I was repentant or not. They kicked me out, and I remember going to the congregation twice a week, and every meeting I went to, I was bawling my eyes out because I just lost all my friends, my family, and I was devastated. And then all of a sudden, you know, long story short, as I got reinstated, and then I had sex out of marriage, and they kicked me out for the second time. Then I spent a year trying to get back into it, and after all this, I eventually just gave up and thought, what the hell, what sort of God would treat people like this? You know, the honest truth of it is, living up to the expectations that the Jehovah's Witness organisation put on you is hard work. And my sister, who was 3 years older than me, she didn't make the grade. She became an unbaptised publisher. She couldn't live up to the expectations that the Jehovah's Witnesses put on her, and unfortunately she took her own life. And that saddens me. These guys that are currently going after me have actually dug up my criminal record and found 30 years ago I used too much force to remove my sister from my mother's house after she had a fight with my mother. And I did get a criminal conviction and a $400 fine. The judge said, you know, I can't deny that you used too much force to remove your sister, and I just held onto her arms and walked her backwards down the property. And unfortunately, they said I used too much force. First time offender, they gave me a $400 fine, and then they sent me off to 10 counselling sessions. And I got to counselling session number 7, and the guy goes, you don't need to come back here, mate, you're all good, you've just been through a whole ordeal. I mean, my sister, her life, I mean, honestly, you know, these people are trying to dig up my dirt, and that's the only dirt I've got. I mean, I witnessed my sister cutting herself. She cut herself 27 stitches up one arm, and 47 stitches up one arm, and 25 on the other arm at the same time. I mean, I got rung up by her once asking for help. And I rushed around her place. Her car was driven into the house she lived in. I went in there's 2 empty bottles of vodkas, there's blood, there's razor blades, and my sister was nowhere to be seen. Next minute, my sister runs in the door, and she's been chased by her lesbian lover, who was actually New Zealand's worst sexually molested case. And they'd had an argument. And then the girl that was chasing my sister started having a go at me, and I remember having to manhandle her, waiting for the police cars to arrive. When 3 police cars turned up, they thought I was the aggressor, and then I said, look at their wrists. And then next thing, we're in a police car ride off to the 24-hour surgery, which is a mini hospital here in Christchurch. And long story short, my sister told me that she'd been speaking to my dead father all afternoon in some sort of seance or something. It was just ridiculous. But the things that I've been through with my sister, it's a real personal experience, and it's something that, you know, like, it has happened because of my upbringing as a Jehovah's Witness, and it wasn't a nice outcome, obviously. My sister was 36 years of age when she took her own life. She died by suicide by hanging herself on the window ledge on 15-minute suicide watch in what we call Hulmorton Hospital, which is a hospital for special people. She did it on the 3rd of December, which happened to be the same day that my stepfather took his own life. When my stepfather took his own life, he was also 36 years of age. And it's just, you know, it's just a sad affair. So yes, I've lost 2 people in my life to suicide. I blame the Jehovah's Witness organisation. The parallels with the Jehovah's Witness organisation and these scammers is the reason why I have been nicknamed the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger. And I don't have, when I got kicked out of the religion at age 23, we were preached that we were going to live on a paradise earth. We were told that we were told that Jehovah is going to wipe out all the wicked people and all the false religions. And the only people that were going to be left on earth were the Jehovah's Witnesses. Now, that same organisation kicked me out. My stepfather and my sister couldn't live up to the expectations that that organisation put on them, and they're no longer on the planet. It was only after my nephews and my nieces started leaving the organisation about 4 or 5 years ago that I decided that I would be an ambassador as an ex-Jehovah's Witness and really stick it up that organisation, because I can see the effects of their shunning practices and what it did to me. And I've kept my mouth shut for 25 years, and now I'm very vocal. So then some people in the family, like my nephew Ashley, who's at the moment providing my these guys that are trying to sue me for 3.8 million, he's providing the guys that are trying to sue me with documents that he was using when trying to stop a video I did about me sharing my experience as an ex-Jehovah's Witness. My mother was forced into trying to go to the courts to get the video removed. And then a week beforehand, 2 weeks beforehand, my mum rings up, which I recorded the conversation, and we had a lovely conversation, and I was trying to plead with my mother, saying that I'd love to have my mother in my life. If we didn't mention the Jehovah's Witness organisation religion, then we would be able to have a normal mum and son relationship. Because I want a relationship with my mum, but if I don't come back to Jehovah, then she shuns me and she doesn't like it, and she's a lovely lady, but she stands up for herself. So now I've had rumours that I am harassing my 78-year-old mother. My mother, as much as this may be hard for people to understand, my mother is as good as dead to me. And it's not because I'm doing it, it's because my mother doesn't want anything to do with me because of the Jehovah's Witness organisation. And my nephew, who basically went and lived in a little sleep out at the back of my mother's place, he basically replaced what I used to do. I used to look after my mother all the time. And I used to stick my neck out with her. I moved back home to help bring up my nephew, who I used to think was like my son. I don't want any relationship with him at all at the moment. He's got no one in his life. He doesn't have anything to do with my family that's in the religion or out of the religion. He may be having an experience with his sister. He didn't talk to her for years because he used to say she's stupid. And now he lives his own life. And the only person that's special in his life is my mother. He simply replaced what I used to do for 20 years. And I used to live in that sleep out, and I used to help bring up, and I used to go all the drama. I still remember the day that my mother rang me about a week after my sister died. And I said to my mum, I said, "Mum, we don't have much to talk about now. Linda's not here, do we?" Because every phone call we used to get used to be some terrible event that was happening in my sister's life. And I used to get dragged into it. And, you know, looking back, I was 23 years of age, and I tried my best to do my best for my sister. And all I get now is some organisation who will grab any bit of information about me that they can and use it to scam people, using it to say that I'm not a good person. And I am a good person, and I've had a fantastic life out of that bloody organisation, and I don't want to return. And if it means I lose my family who's still in the religion because they don't want to talk to me, then I'm rejoicing every time one of them sees the light and they come out the other side of that horrible religion. And I'm here as an ambassador to expose the Jehovah's Witness organisations. Anyway, that's about it. I have a bit of a rant. It's been 20 minutes of me walking around waiting for my documents to be printed. There will be a video coming out showing my journey today, and I probably may even put some of this in there as well. Why am I doing this? Yeah, I'm a YouTuber. I'm not going to get rich doing it, but I am going to do my best at exposing anyone running a Ponzi scheme or a scam. And what you can do to help me is simply like these videos if you're watching them. Thumbs up the videos, subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the bell and be notified when new videos come out. It's not rocket science, it's the heck science. And this way, by doing that simple act, it tells YouTube you like my videos. 50% of my traffic that gets to my videos comes from within the YouTube community. So it makes a huge difference. So you might not want to stick your neck out So many people I talk to go, oh, I want to remain anonymous. Don't mention my name. Don't tell people I've lost hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm embarrassed. Well, I'm not embarrassed to stick my neck out, my name. And if you want to watch some of the interesting information that's about to happen over the next few months, tune into the channel and you'll find out more about this court case that's going down at the moment. And that's me. I'm out. Hey, thanks for watching. I love you guys. Thanks for your support. Really appreciate it. Pushing end.